I have an MSP432 LaunchPad here and I want to connect it to my Wi-Fi for a project. And I happen to have a booster pack lying around here that's able to do that. A CC3100 BoosterPack. And lucky for me, there is an example available that does just that. An RTOS example that works with exactly this combination. One that we can try out immediately. So let's do that. Hey, the example also works with other LaunchPads. I've tried it with the Tiva. And it works with the CC3100 and the 3200. But if you're using the 3100, just like I do here, you have to take care that you power it separately via a USB connection, because the MSP432 doesn't have enough power to keep this thing alive when it is doing communications.
The example is available from the Resource Explorer under the TI RTOS for your LaunchPad. I am using the MSP432, so this is the correct starting point for me. And under the network examples, Wi-Fi examples, you will find an example that's called TCP Echo for CC3X00, and that's the one we need. Let's select it and import it into our IDE. That's done. If we expand the node of that example, you'll see that there is a readme.html. Let's open it, and there you can find the instructions on how to build and run the examples, but we'll go through that in this video. What is interesting in this HTML file is that it shows for which development boards this example works. And next to the 432 that we are using, there is a number of other development boards that work with this particular example. Let's build the example and let's try to run it in debug mode. And the first time that you use this board at home, it will not know how to connect to your Wi-Fi. So let's go through those steps that you have to do at home to register your access point at home to the CC3100. We'll start it in the debugger now and execute the program. Let's make the logging screen a bit higher because that's going to give us some good information. My SimpleLink Wi-Fi board hasn't connected to my access point yet, because otherwise I would see an IP address here. So we will have to go through some initialization steps. And you do that by pushing a few buttons on that board. And I have a video camera here pointing to my board. What you have to do is press this button here, button 1, and keep it down. Then with another finger press button 3 and release it, and the second later release button 1 again. So I now press 3 down, up, release 1, and now our LaunchPad is initialized. And it will run as an access point on its own now. So if you go to your computer and you check what access points are available, you will see that there is a new entry. So if we now have a look at the available Wi-Fi providers, you'll see that there is a new one, my SimpleLink. This is my board, and I'm going to connect to it. Take care, because you will lose the connection to the internet by doing that. You can also do that from another device. If you have an iPad or another device that can connect Wi-Fi, you could leave your computer as is and connect with that device. Okay, that connection is made, so now I can go to my browser and surf to the board. The board has given itself the IP address 192.168.1.1, and you can see that it acts as an access point at the moment. And that's not what we want. We want it to be a client to our access point at home. So let's go to the profiles here and configure the board. You enter your home access point's SSID in here. Then you select the type of security that you deploy at home and enter the security key, press add, and then you have to restart your LaunchPad. I'm not going to enter the values of my home access point here. If my neighbors watch, they can hack into my access point, and I don't want that. I have entered that information and added it, and you will see that it is available at the bottom of the screen under the profiles. You can have a peek at my SSID, that is not too bad, but I don't want you to see my key. We'll now return to Code Composer Studio, stop the debugger, and restart the board. That's a bit tricky because the reset key is under the CC3100. I have reset it. I'm going to debug the program again. We're ready to run it, so let's do play. And let's see if we get an IP address. Yes, we do. You can see here that our IP address that we have received from our own home access point is 192.168.1.7. So if I open the browser again, what you see here is the old screen, so it hasn't refreshed yet. If I would refresh it, it wouldn't work. But I'm going to enter 7 here, and we go again to our board, but it's now acting as a station. It's not an access point anymore. And in essence, we have a working system now. But now let's put it to the test, just like it's explained in the example. There is a test program that comes with TI-RTOS that we can deploy. And the explanation on how to do that is at the bottom of the README file here. So there is a command line utility called TCP send receive that is placed in your TI-RTOS installation under Packages, Examples, Tools. Let's open the command prompt and navigate to there. This happens to be the location of that tool on my laptop. And let's now execute the command line, the test program that will send information to our Wi-Fi board and to our MSP432, and then that board will reply with information. And we have a success. We have a first exchange of data. We have sent a big amount of information, and the board has replied to us. It will continue doing that until it loses its connection with the access point for one reason or the other. And that's what I wanted to show, how easy it is to have a basic Wi-Fi connection on your MSP432 or other LaunchPad using that CC3100 SimpleLink board.
The MSP432 is now ready to run your projects. It has an RTOS running that's well configured. It can connect to your access point via the SimpleLink board that we're using here. And you can now either listen to sensors and send the information to servers using the Wi-Fi board, or you can collect information from websites and use that in your application.